Welcome, everybody, to episode 119 of Keeping It Real. I'm your host, jackkadis, and today a lot is going on for me. Sometimes, maybe even in small moments, it feels like too much, but, it's all in good fun, and literally it all is for fun. Me and the guys are going to Wilmington to fish. So, little bit of this, little bit of that, and it's 12:30 p.m. right now. I got to get this episode. It takes an hour, obviously, to film this, so I'll be done around 1:30, and then by 3 o'clock, hopefully, we'll hit the road, and I'll be done with everything. Only a little extra thing in there that I got to get done, aside from all this video stuff, is I got to pack up my equipment, and I'd like to clean my room in the living room and move this table out into the living room. That's a lot of stuff. I can't lie to you, man. A lot of thoughts up in here, and keeping it real, it's like almost like I know it's good, and I know I'm working on a memory. I'm working on a muscle by doing this. But sometimes it just feels so I don't know. It doesn't. I'm just saying that. I don't really know. It's like I don't even know this is what I think I'm trying to say. Sometimes my mind is just kind of cloudy, and I keep having to push certain thoughts away. And then when I try to describe it out loud with my words, I just can never find the right things to say or words to, And then I'll make stuff, not make stuff, but I'll start talking about certain topics that is not necessarily what I was thinking in my head, but I don't know how to say what I'm thinking in my head. In my head, it's almost like I don't want to let my head get out, because if I let it get out, then it's real, and if it's real, then it might not be a good episode, and, but I don't think, it's keeping it real. That's why we separated this from the new jackkadis show, because this is not a production. It's not a, I don't owe you anything, man. It's all for me. So there is no such thing as a good episode here. We just turn the camera on and we make sure we document an hour of my day. So yeah, it'd probably be, it might be a good idea to think about, evolving this. Maybe instead of me sitting down in front of the camera, I strap on my mobile rig and I figure out how to rig this camera that never stops filming to my stabilizer, and I just, go for a walk every day. I think that could be, something that might be better than this, because no one's gonna come and I'm not you got to think about the probability of different things and what's good for you, what's bad for you. No one's gonna come say hey to me in my room. I'm just in my room every day. Coming up, I'll have a door on my room and I'll keep it closed, and then this will get really I don't necessarily want that. I want something different, whether it's filming this in public or walking around while I film it. Either one is important to think about. I think that change is coming for keeping it real, because if I'm really keeping it real right now, it just feels I feel like I'm starting to get stuck. And I always find my way back to these views, the view counts. And I wonder, how are we doing it's all clouded by these shorts, and I don't know. We had an episode recently, 3 or 4 episodes ago, that's about to break 100 views, and it's got about 8 hours of watch time, which I think, if everyone's with me and following me here, I'm pretty sure that's a record for keeping it real in recent time. But then it's hard because you look back to that time I went to App State and did a episode with a girl I hadn't spoken to for so long that, we have like a rocky history, and two of her friends, and I dressed up in a suit and went and turned the cameras on, and that thing got like 200 hours of watch time. And it's like hard to think about that, because I feel like it sometimes makes me feel like I'm failing, because how could I achieve that and then fall back on this? Like how long is it going to take until, I guess the real truth to it is I may never surpass that kind of viewership ever again. That might be what it is, and I'll have to let it be what it is. I think of a guy that I watch called Atrioc. But the problem with comparing myself to these guys is these guys actually do it successfully. Like, I showed my buddy Sam. I started the jackkadis show yesterday. I showed it to like 3 people. I showed it to my 2 coworkers, Ryan and Nikki. Matter of fact, I invited Nikki on the show. I'd like her to come on with her husband. And then I showed my roommate Zach, and then I showed my roommate Sam. And Sam was kind of like, I think Sam was the harshest of the 4, because he was kind of like, I don't get it, and he's right. Like what's so special about it? Like, yeah, it's new and shiny, different channel, blah blah blah, but like what? But like, it's got 8 views. Now, I don't know where these 8 views came from. It has 8 views, and I don't really know where these 8 views came from, because I only watched it twice. I sent the link to like 1 or 2 people, and I don't know where these 8 views. But that's not like 8 views ain't really a lot of views. But is it about the views? I don't know. Do I sound like how do I sound right now? Do I sound like I'm like down in the dumps? I don't really know how to be happy, I have to be honest with you. I don't really know how to be happy. Like, I can get up in arms about a certain topic and change the patterns in which I speak and like my tone and stuff, but like I don't really know how to like be happy. You know what I mean? And I feel like so many of these successful guys on this platform are just constantly like, you see them and they're just always like happy, and that's crazy to me, because it doesn't like add up. It's like, am I supposed to just like fake it till I make it, or like, I feel silly, I feel silly, and I think it's okay to feel silly. It's a long road that I'm on. I'm doing this a bit differently than someone else would be doing. I feel like a lot of other people come on to this sort of task of like making it on the internet, and they're kind of like, okay, I want this now. And they conform a lot to like what they see, and they create their videos in such a way that, it's like they can't fail. Like, I've got the thumbnail, the topic, I've got the pacing, I've got it. I've got the characters, I've got everything. This can't fail. And on my end, I'm like, I'm like exploring this idea of like, what does extreme consistency and discipline get you? And you might be thinking, Jack, I don't think you're extremely disciplined or consistent. And I'd say, yeah, you're right. This comes out at a different time every day. And I'm rarely on the same like diet. I have varying amounts of sleep. Sometimes I have work. Sometimes I don't. I get you. This just shows very inconsistent in that aspect. But you have to understand that it's every day. I do not go through a period of being awake without doing this. When I sleep and I wake up, I have to do this before I fall asleep again. So like I think that's what it took for me to initially like settle into what I now am starting to feel is like a comfortable way of keeping it real. And I think they're never like, even though even though I don't identify with like make an account and make that first video perfect and like, it's bound to work. I did just make a new account, and I did just post a new shiny polished video, and everything about the account is like well within my control, and I sort of like understand that this is a separate entity. Like this is a I don't know. So here I am. How many other guys my age are doing this sort of thing? Because I know for a fact there are thousands, but I don't see any of them. I don't live with any, I'm not friends with any of them, and I don't see any of them online. But I know there are thousands of me's out there with like this same, like on the same path. Like it's been a year for them now of like every day pushing for this. And where are they at? Where are they at? What if I hit like the limit for keeping it real? What if I keep it real so much that I reach a day where I'm like, I've kept it real. I have kept it real. Ladies and gentlemen, I've kept it real, and this is the end. What if that comes out? What if that happens? Coming up is an interesting period in my life. It's going to be summer. I'm still going to be closing for a while at my job. It's going to be just me and a coworker, 2 people, in a very dead store because the students will be home. And it'll be summer in a college town. And I've been through this before, and this is my second time going through it. And it can really kill you if you're not careful. You don't realize how much life these students bring to this place, even if you barely interact with them. They make this town breathe. So when they leave, there's going to be a lot of just me. And I have this long-term goal here. I'd like to move to New York City when my next lease is up. So I have this room in this apartment for 1 more year. And the lease will go up in July of 2026 when I turn 23. And by that time, I 3 days ago, I decided I was going to add a daily task. So for the next little bit over a year, every single day, I'm going to make one conscious step towards moving to New York City. So, there's lots to think about. I have a lot of items that obviously can't go with me. I have, and it's time. Like if I get to, if I land there and I make it there, if I get to that 1 year and it's like I have the money, I have the plan, I have the place, I have the outline. It's going to come down to like packing, right? And I'm going to have to think about what can I take? Only a couple, probably like half of my wardrobe, if even. I'm not going to be able to take that much. Maybe like my essential camera equipment. And that begs the question, I have a year. So like it is well within my bounds now to define what is my essential camera equipment, like now is a great time for me to start flying my drone every day. Because if I don't start flying my drone every day, then a year is going to pass and I won't have done it. And I'm going to have to, I can't reasonably take this drone. I'll give it away to someone as a gift. I can't take this drone and have it take up space in my luggage, on my way to start living in the best city in the entire world. If I don't even, I can't do that. I'm not like, I'm not going to go to this place with any of that baggage. Like, because here the drone sits there every day and like, I just kind of ignore it. I won't let that happen. I can't. My place, if whether I live alone or with roommates, I'm not going to have that enough space for that BS. I'm not going to have the money for a studio. Like I'm going to have to get really creative with what I do in New York City. And like maybe, like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and I'm going to have to really fight. And I talk about this summer coming and how, there's going to be lots of loneliness and lots of challenge. I think with loneliness comes challenge. Last summer, I quenched that challenge and loneliness with lots of drinking and a stupid new job that was bad for me, and sleeping and eating, and like that's okay, and like you can always say like, oh well, you weren't, at least you weren't smoking weed, but at least you weren't, addicted to nicotine, and it's like, yeah, okay, I guess I wasn't. But like, if that's how I'm gonna define everything for the rest of my life, then my life's gonna turn out pretty shitty. Because if that's just an excuse, it's literally just an excuse. It's like, oh, I can partake in this bad activity because at least I'm not doing this bad activity. I'm sure there are people that are addicted to heroin that are going to Harvard University right now. Seriously. I'm sure there are people that have sexual problems and they are extremely perverted, and they fly commercial airplanes, which is many people's dream occupation. It's like there's never like it's not so straightforward. It's not like this staircase that you can constantly remind yourself that you keep stepping up. It's more of like this fluid game of whack-a-mole where you every day have to redefine what are you? Who are you? What do you do? What kind of example do you set? And I feel like I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be, right? I feel like every day I sort of grasp at this image in the clouds, like, oh, there's Jack up there. I can't quite see him or touch him, but like, I know he's up there. When in reality, it's like, Jack's right here. You're inside Jack. So how about you tell Jack what to do? So yeah, I refuse to ever use this. I know that as of late I've been sort of like, saying the milestones are important, and you gotta take your achievements for what they are and truly pat yourself on the back. I know I've been like kind of reminding myself of that and bringing it back up, like. This month we did 100,000 views on YouTube. That is more than I did more views in YouTube in this month than I have in the entirety of this channel. And that is like this crazy accomplishment, right? It's like staggering progress. The charts show it, everything. But I won't let that define me. I'm never going to find any self-worth through the success of keeping it real. It's never going to happen. I will never, ever tell you guys that I am who I am because of a certain subscriber count. And I truly believe that. And I know for a fact, if I woke up tomorrow with 1 billion subscribers and hundreds of millions of views, that could be like the worst thing ever for me. That could destroy me. That could kill me. Like if that happened to me overnight. And it's almost like lately I've been checking my laptop every morning as if it did. There's a lot I have to change about how I do this. I am letting myself become addicted to the process when I need to be addicted to the work. Yes, I need to be addicted to the process. I'm letting myself become addicted to the fluff. The views, the subscribers, the the times when someone says they recognize me. That is the wrong addiction. That is the sad addiction. That is the addiction that sets a bad example and makes me a worse person. The correct addiction is the one that my dad seems to have found at his job. It's the addiction to doing your job and doing it correctly. I mean, that's like the part of our brains that become addicted to things. That's honestly like what we, like, that's there for a reason, you know? Like, we're supposed to go out and hunt and bring back kill in order to have sex with the hot girls, you know? Like, that's, we used to be addicted to that, you know, addicted to the hunt and to the feed and to the, you know, survival of the species. And then comes along like Las Vegas and sports betting, and we kind of like lose the plot. You know, it's like there's so many different things that you could let yourself slide into. And I'm currently very comfortably slid into a lot of them. You know, I love ultra processed food. It is like how I cope with life's troubles. I love sneaking down a sugary drink. You know, I love to abuse sleep just a little bit. But I've found time and time again that like what I love is in the control of me and only me. So lately, like, it's like, how do you love keeping it real? How do you love going on a walk every day? How do you love reading one page of your book? How do you love saving for New York City? How do you love telling one joke every single day? I don't know. And it's okay not to know, because with time and doing that thing, you just end up loving it. You know? You know, like, you think that I was born to love to DoorDash? No, I tried it once, knew it was bad, tried it again, knew it was bad. You know, time went by, tried it again, knew it was bad, spent some money here, spent some money there. And now it's like I can see this, like when you compare DoorDashing McDonald's to Keeping It Real, the internet show, one is just meticulously designed to addict. You know, you can become addicted to both. Okay, like, it just takes work to addict yourself to Keeping It Real. That's all, just work. DoorDash, there's still a little bit of work. You know, I have to click the buttons, but it's more like meticulously designed to addict me. Like, it's like, it doesn't really have a pull on me, like, literally at least. But I almost manufacture that idea in my head, because in comparison, it's so much easier and more fun and enjoyable to do than something that's just a little bit hard, like Keeping It Real. So here we go, you know. We're about to go to Wilmington. This is the second to last hurrah for the guys, I feel like. It's a trip to Wilmington, and then afterwards, we're going to move the table into the living room, all put our computers up on a table, and we're all going to beat Minecraft together. And, you know, that's beautiful. And I ever since I've been a kid, I've wanted to do that with friends. You know, there was never the right, like, I never felt like, I honestly, at that age, like, I felt like I didn't really have any friends. And, you know, look at, this is so amazing that not only are these guys so awesome, but we all had the idea collectively to beat the game of Minecraft together in hardcore mode. So that means if anybody dies, we have to restart. It's going to be a lot of laughs. A lot of laughs. And, like, this is what it's all about. Like, we're coming up on one of these moments where you can't forget that this is what it's all about. Minecraft with the boys. Like, I'm not going to film it. I'm not going to document it. Other than this, of course, Keeping It Real. I'm going to really just live in it. You know what I think Keeping It Real helps me with? I think Keeping It Real helps me really exist when I'm not keeping it real. You know, I did a lot of talking at work yesterday. A lot of talking. A lot of smiling. a lot of work, and that's my job. It's my job to be friendly with these people. You know, it's not just you know what makes a sandwich taste better? A really smiley and friendly sandwich maker. And that's like, I get paid to do that. And like, once again, I feel like a lot of people at these jobs, they lose the plot. They think like, I'm here to make money. And that's the only reason. Like, money, I think money is genuinely, sometimes I believe that money is the root of all evil. And I'm having a very hard time in my life right now trying to figure out and decide how to be in this world. And like, how does New York City fit into this? New York City, everything's more expensive. Everyone gets paid more and the dollar amount is higher. So how does that change? Like, how does that change everything? I think because of that, are a lot of miserable people in New York City. But then I also think that there are a lot of very, very, very happy souls. And I'm not talking rich. I'm talking happy. Because money is... and listen, there, you know, for whatever ears are on this podcast, I should explain my background. I come from not an extremely wealthy family, but one that is very well off. You know, 5 minutes from downtown Charlotte, North Carolina, in a house that has appreciated greatly. The land in which it's on is highly sought after, and I was I went to public school, no problems. You know, there was never any money problems, and now I sit with an account in which I could feasibly go to pretty much, you know, any university within reason that I am accepted to, and that I have the money that has been saved for me, and it would cover for it. So that kind of gives you a picture of, you know, my dad is a lawyer, a partner at his firm, and mom doesn't have to work. And so I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not sure that like my view of all of this is correct at all. And maybe it's like, you know, like, to quote the hate comment that I opened Instagram, YouTube to this morning on one of my shorts, he said something like, "This is a waste of time. Like, this was a waste of my time. Thanks." And, you know, I don't have any, you know, I don't have any sympathy for you, bro. Like, you're telling me that you watched my short on YouTube, thought that to yourself, thought about how it was a waste of your time, and then you decided to write that comment. It seems like you're wasting your own time. And made me feel better. I went to his YouTube page, and he only had 63 subs, but he had written out this like super thoughtful description about like what he was into and what you can expect from his channel, and he's super random, haha, and funny. And like, I saw this video from 7 years. I watched the first 5 seconds, and he like made himself an intro, and it was him and his friend. His friend had a guitar. And it's like, listen, dude, you know, maybe you weren't as passionate about it as me. Maybe it wasn't the same for you as me, but you gave up on your fucking dream. Like, no wonder you're pissed off, you know, with your old ass self. Like, I wonder where he's at is what he's doing. Imagine, I don't comment ever on anything. I don't engage in that way on social media. But imagine if I did, and then imagine if it was something like that. This was a waste of my time. Thanks. And you know what's funny? I've watched a lot of YouTube, and I've seen people like respond to the hate in different ways. And I remember like always having this concrete idea, you know, like every time I would see someone respond to like backlash or anything online, I would always think, no matter how they responded, you know, whether they responded in this way and that way and this way, there's many different ways to go about your response. You know, there's many different emotions, but they all fall under the same roof of you did respond. And I guess no response is a response, but I always used to think, the first thought that would pop into my head, I was so quick to think it, if you're entertaining it, you're doing the wrong thing. So the best thing that you can do is nothing, because nothing on its own still entertains it. You know, if someone picks on somebody and they don't get a response, sometimes they'll pick on them more, you know, but it's like you owe it to yourself to begin the training in which you do nothing. Even if it takes effort to do nothing, which it probably will. I mean, it could be said that it may have taken me more effort to not bring up that guy and leave him up here, you know? It's the right thing to do, because you should not engage at all with someone that's like that. I think on the internet, at least. You know, if I had a friend or a coworker or a family member say something mean to me, actually, maybe that would still be the best course of action, is to not engage. I don't know. You know, it's all about your mission and your goal and what you're trying to accomplish. But I remember I was so concrete in that, like, oh man, you have this platform, you should set a good example by not engaging. Like, you see guys like LeBron James, and you know, I guess sometimes these NBA guys, you know, they do let the fans hear it. Like Anthony Edwards, I remember there's this clip of him being like, "My dick bigger than yours," to this guy in the stands who's just mouthing off to him. And the other day, you know, maybe there's a balance, but it's funny how my perception has changed about it since I have started this. Like me with that opinion was the guy that didn't make any YouTube videos himself. And now me that does and has the comments that come in and, you know, all that stuff. It's interesting how things have changed and stuff has developed. So it's like, should I not read them? I don't know. I don't know. I wonder how I do on the Joe Rogan Experience. Do you guys think that I would be able to hold my own? I feel like part of me feels like I'd be great at it, and then the other part of me feels like I would totally feel like I was, like, you know how guests of this show come on, and like the jackkadis show, they're always like super nervy and like they're very up and down in the wake of it. Like, it was great? No, I think it really sucked, and like, I don't know, I just don't know what to say, or like sometimes I could talk for hours. Like, they're very like this, you know, and I just wonder if I would be like that if I went on the Joe Rogan show Experience. Maybe, yeah, maybe no. I'm not sure. But I think about it. I do think about it. And yeah, and you know, maybe what I need to be doing. I just had a good idea. I have to start leveraging. I feel like I have to start leveraging my consistent nature. I'm starting to develop. I'm starting to acquire. Like I have, like now I have like a difference. Like I sense something that sets me apart from someone else. That is, you know, every day is a new day, and every day it's like, how can I make it? You know, how can I make it? Just like the next guy. But the difference between me and the next guy is I have this library of video. Like I'm talking hundreds of hours. I'm talking thousands of videos of me trying to make it, you know? So how do I begin to leverage this? How do I begin to leverage this? I don't necessarily know. And it seems very like chill, no worries, the answer will come to you. Maybe it's leveraging itself, you know? Maybe when someone goes to my YouTube, I mean, it's already out there. Like, you can already see it. If someone clicks on my YouTube channel, then they're like, damn, 1,000 videos. You know, like it's kind of like something to behold. I don't know, man. I just be thinking, should we like read something or do something? I'm kind of bored. I wonder how many views and stuff I have. I'm just gonna hop on my analytics page while I'm live. See, I'm addicted to this. I'm addicted to my analytics. Do you see what I'm talking about? I don't know exactly analytics. I mean, if you go to my channel and you click like the more, I have 275,000 views. I have 250,000 views now. 1,067 videos. 654 subscribers. And links to TikTok, Instagram. I mean, I'm pretty polished as like a account. Like the videos are constantly rolling out. I am constantly making an effort to improve. I don't know. It's like it's a fight to like 29 minutes, 14 minutes. I mean, what do you think I made this time last year? Recording 32. When did this come out? May 13th. So, you know, this time last year, I was like, I spent the last of my money on a trip to New York City. And that's what it is. You know, I didn't last. I made it 2 weeks and I came back. Signed a 2-year lease here, and 2 years is going to pass. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to take a year of my life I'm going to take, and every single day I'm going to prep for my next attempt. I'm going back to the city. Whether I'm going to take it, I think it would be a no-brainer. I feel like I have to. Like, I'm talking about saving money. But it's like a no-brainer. Like, there's money in an account for me for school. So it's like almost like a no-brainer. Like, even if I'm like iffy about money and like money's the root of all evil, you know, like I said earlier, it's almost like like duh. Like, if I'm gonna make it in New York City, school will do a lot of things for me. School provide the opportunity for community, and school will take the financial burden and the stress of failure off my plate for at least 4 years. And that's a long time. And you know, with what I love, I've often thought, like, whatever school I end up, I don't see why, I wouldn't stick with it. You know? I don't see why I wouldn't make that school my home through whatever occupation. Like, why wouldn't I just keep on working at the school? You know? I don't know. I feel like it's going to work out. I feel like this time next year, I'm going to be a month away from the biggest change in my entire, like the most selfish thing I'll ever do, moving to New York City. I feel like I feel like it's going to happen, man. I feel like it's going to happen. In 2 hours, I'm going to call my buddy Sam. Sam lives in the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And actually, is it Manhattan? I swear it's the Bronx, bro, but he knows more than me. And it's called Manhattan University. And I am going to talk to him for as long as he'll let me. And I don't know why. Should I write down questions? Yes. Let's write down questions. Okay, so Sam goes to Manhattan University. I want to know what his day looks like. No. Good thing I'm writing down questions, because this is gonna take me to the end of the episode, spitballing like what I, because I'm sure he doesn't have a lot of time. He's living in New York City, so I want to just get right to what I want to know. And I can pretty much Google everything about Manhattan University. So what can I take advantage of? What do I want to know? Well, Sam, I want to know if I can come visit you. I want to know if I can take the train and come and see you. So I'm gonna ask him. I don't think he would be a junior. So next year will be his last year there. So he'll be back in August. What's going on in my mind right now is I have a job, so I can't just go whenever I want. So I would have to. First things first, I would have to. Oh, geez, what's going on? First things first, I would have to, think realistically. So I've called off this weekend after, I just took 4 days off. I have a lot of time off work. I need to be at work. I need to be making money. I need to be helping there. And at the end of June, this next month, I'm going to take another 6-ish days off to go on a trip to Colorado with a road trip with the boys. So then that leaves me at like July, August. I wonder. So, okay, this is my first question for Sam. I'm going to get right to it. I wonder if I hope he's like used to this sort of thing because he lives in New York City. I don't know. Can I tell you something? Yesterday, this guy, I already told you last episode. I'm not going to get into that. No point in telling that story. I'm going to let it die. Okay, so what do I want to ask him? First things first, I want to ask him, what does do I want to ask these questions, or do I want to make it known as quick as I can my intention? What's more gentlemanly? I feel like I want to go after here. I think a mix of the both. So I'm gonna go bullet point. I'm gonna go intention, and my intention is to live in New York City. So intention. And intention leads to curiosity. Intention, curiosity. And curiosity is like, I want to know, Sam, like, are you going to live there this summer? If yes, if no, maybe you're going to come back in the fall. I'm wondering how you'd feel about me coming to stay with you for a couple nights and sort of maybe just shadow you to your classes. I'm wondering how you'd feel about that, maybe. And then that's it. Intention, curiosity. That's all. I don't I'm not going to ask any filler, pointless questions like how much, like I'm not going to like, how do you get back and forth? Like, I don't care about any of these things. Like, I just want to know. I just want him to know my intention, it's going to be like a restate sort of thing, but it's a personal courtesy for me to say it to him directly. He reached out to me because of one of my videos online, and he was like, I love what you're doing, bro. He even offered, like, if you ever need a place to stay, let me know. So I just want to grab him on the phone, 3 p.m. in 2 hours from now. I'm going to call him up. And intention, curiosity. Maybe I should check in with him, make sure 3 p.m. is a good time. That's probably a good idea. If I'm itching to do something right now, that's probably a good idea. Sarah, who are you? Are you a real person? You may be a real person, but I don't know. Oh, this is the wrong account. Okay, hold on. I got to switch profiles. Hey, 2 followers. There we go. So how many views does this have? 5? Okay. Profile, more, switch accounts, log in. jackkadis, log in. Okay. I'm going to shoot off a quick message. Who is this? Dude, Instagram gets weird. A queen bunny. Rebecca, 20 hours ago. Who are you? Slay. Damn. City of Angels, 6 weeks ago. Slay. My other half. Okay, period. Oh, she got proposed to? Oh, nah. It's just a selfie. Okay. Social media is so dangerous, bro. Social media is so dangerous. All right. Messages. Okay. Okay. I just checked that 3 is still a good time. 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 Now I'm looking at this guy who goes to North Carolina, runs races, has a pretty girlfriend, and I'm like, bro, like, what am I doing on this fucking app? Just like my boy Case Kabrick. What's he put on his story? Asa 704 walk. Love that guy. Issue 16. I should look at this. So this is Sam, the guy I'm gonna call. Look at this, issue 16. Look how cool this is, man. They're all in New York City. They all look so cool too. Oh my god, there's a lot of girls. And they're all so pretty. Oh my god. Manhattan University. Issue 16. Witness the vision. Celebrate the work. Come to the Lotus Fashion Show. Issue 16 release party. Lotus Magazine. May 1st. Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Kelly 5B. The Lotus 2025 fashion show is 1 week away. Join us on the 5th floor of Kelly next Thursday, May 1st at 7 p.m. to celebrate the release of Lotus and the creativity of our designers. How cool is that? How cool is that? Okay, so what else did he put on his story? What's up? Okay, they're called the Jaspers, by the way. What's up, Jaspers? Hold on. Let me listen to this. All right. Okay. You know, it's just like a cool school social media thing. Just a cool school social media thing. Hey, life is good. I am doing the things and thinking the do's. Can't forget, you know. Can't forget. Catch me if you can. Social media is crazy. Like this girl, I'm very interested in. She seems like realizing I really enjoy collages. Sophia Luca, 3,000 followers, just posting what comes to mind, and then her height, 5'10". What? I wonder what someone. I'd be really curious to see like what some like a lot of people I know stumble across because I'm posting all the time. So people are stumbling across like my online presence. Random people from Minnesota, Los Angeles, United Kingdom, Sweden, Australia, and it's like I wonder what the hell are they thinking? You know, like what are the first thoughts? What are the first thoughts? I have no idea. No idea. So, no idea. This is keeping it real. Should we look at now my diary from a year ago? Fuck it, why not? I'm probably talking about New York City. I think I had probably bought the plane ticket by this point. I remember back then it was like I thought I was very on top of things because I bought the plane ticket for like a month in advance. I think, if I'm remembering things correctly. And nowadays I'm like, all right, it's a year out. Let's plan it a year away. I guess maybe that's just getting older, you know? Fuck. Went to the wrong one. All right, April 20, Volume 1. Here we go. It is April 25th. Let's get there. January 1st, April 25th. Pursuing myself. It is 1 a.m. in the morning of the 25th. I'm currently craving YouTube or a movie or just some form of video I can watch on my screen that will give me happiness that I crave so badly. That calm feeling where I forget everything else that is happening around me. I cannot let it win. I will not watch that video. I will not give in to my urges. Instead, I will look up the 12 steps of alcohol recovery and apply it to my lifelong YouTube addiction. Here we go. Step 1 is admitting that I am powerless over my addiction. This is true. After having that realization earlier tonight, I found myself mindlessly navigating towards YouTube, subconsciously, multiple times, directly after and almost while in that headspace of, I need to stop YouTube. I would find myself craving it and wanting it and thinking about doing it. I honestly caught myself building stories and versions of my life in my head in which it would be okay for me just to watch a movie on YouTube instead of a video. That is insane. Yes, step 1, I am powerless over my addiction. It also says admitting that my life has become unmanageable. While hesitant to put the truth over myself at a first read after I thought, I admit that with the addiction of YouTube in my life, it is hard to do things like sleep, work, and live the way that I want. YouTube makes me want to eat junk food sporadically and pass time like it does not matter. This is very interesting. I just went and found a different 12-step guide that did not involve God. This one calls Step 1 Acknowledging. I think that I have typed above still goes, and I will move on to Step 2, Realizing and believing that I am worth living happily and without YouTube. Step 3 is identifying the things that make me want to binge YouTube. Right now, I'm thinking about what happens whenever I interact and experience the adrenaline and heart racingness of talking to a cute girl. I think feelings of massive excitement and achievement lead me to crash and crave more of it, which leads me to find solace in YouTube. I just scrolled Reddit and found myself watching the videos on Reddit. I seriously am bad at this. All I want to do is watch YouTube right now. I just want to give in, and watch YouTube. I won't do it though. The first night is the hardest. I will persevere and continue looking at Google Maps aimlessly. Then I will go to bed. Good morning. This is rare. In between this indent and the last, I got a full night's sleep, kind of. In actuality, I got like 5 hours. And then another hour in between alarms, and another 30 minutes in between alarms. And then another 20 minutes in between alarms. Not good. I need to start waking the fuck up. Also, on the way to class, I got McDonald's. Not cool. Not cool at all. I told myself that it was okay that because I quit YouTube yesterday, but it is absolutely not okay. I wonder what was going on when I quit weed all that time ago. I think I was binging YouTube. I can't remember exactly. It all seems so blurred, and when I try and think about it, but I know that in the wake of my weed dopamine loss, I am left with an undying craving for something to make the time pass. It is hard to figure out what to do or how to fix it. The truth is that I'm about to take a math test. I'm about to rock it, at least rock it as well as I can rock it with the tools that I have and the skills that I've got. All right, once again, stark contrast between moods in the last few hours. I have gone from I don't care about life to let's rock it and going to STEM center after math class. I just studied from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. 2 hours in the bank. So now my goal is to continue my day and not go home and binge YouTube or just wallow in myself. I think I should try and close my ring. Maybe I should go rock climbing later today. Maybe what I will do is go and pack a change of clothes. Then I will go and set up at Hill, study, or do whatever it is. Actually, I have studied enough. I think that I will do here, what I will do here is go home, eat a good lunch, change for rock climbing, walk and rock climb, and then I will maybe do probably, not the sauna because I'd have to take my watch off, but I could do it actually. I should not count myself out of the sauna. I think what I should do is pack nice clothes that's the best idea. I'm going to go home, eat lunch, pack dinner, and then I will stay out of the house until it is time for dinner. Then I'll go to sleep. Okay, go time. Go time! Should I just get a slice of pizza for lunch? That'll make everything easier. I think that the pizza place is closed. I will check, but I'm almost certain it's closed. All right, so I walked to Hill from Carmichael, and I'm even in my nice clothes. I spelled that wrong. I think I will try and... Dude, I'm kind of stupid. I'm kind of stupid. I think I will try and write for a bit. Maybe I'm not too sure. I want to get some stuff done before I move again because I'm quite sweaty. The Hurricanes play in T-minus 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm sweating hard. There is sweat all on my keyboard. I wonder when this sweat will stop. These guys are being very loud in the lobby, and that is just typical guy moment. That's what guys do. What am I saying? I should play a game of chess. I love chess. My mind is everywhere right now. I quit YouTube. That is awesome. This is a super long run-on sentence that may go on forever. I am hungry. I should eat. I will have an orange right now. Very quickly, maybe I will have a bit more orange and probably see the Canes. See what with Canes gear on I'm shouting, or at least trying to, because I love the Hurricanes and I need to support the boys in gear right now. I need to upload my video. We'll do that briefly. All right, I edited that and now I am just writing away. I just looked up and this girl was staring at me. I thought to myself, wow, this girl is staring at me. Maybe I should read my book for a bit. I have been writing in here for quite a bit. I will go and get my hair cut in maybe. So now I find myself out of things to do in the library since I just uploaded my video from this morning and I just edited it into the Hello compilation. Oh, I just remembered. I have to add the transcript to this document because I've been doing that now. Hello, why is it Thursday? That is by far the shortest script I have had. You know what? I want to explore Sophie for a bit. It has been about, I'm trying to do this math in my head, and it is really not easy. I also should explore Lexi for a bit. Let's just see how deep I can get. Okay, Sophie first, because I think that one will be a breeze. It has been over 2 months since she and I split now. I feel concluded about the whole thing. I can't even really think of the word for it, but if I could make up the word, then I would say finalized. I mean, we split. She is done. I went through the thick of it when I walked around near her house. That was very crazy that I did that. And I was emotionally a mess. I just wanted to knock on that door and invite myself in. I didn't do it. I turned around and walked home. It was actually initially a walk to clear my ring. But when I actually had a streak to tend to, I really should start that streak again. By the time I get to New York, it could be in the 20s. If I start it right now. Anyway, I think what matters here is that I don't think about her anymore. When I do think about her, like I'm trying to actively do right now, I think about our relationship and I think about how I could have done things better. I could have been much better. I was an okay partner. I thought I was great, and that was the problem. Interesting. Now I'm not sure I identify with that string of words. I'm going to highlight this so I know where I left off. Nowadays, lately, I've been thinking that I wasn't that big of a problem. I actually thought it's not that I thought I did a great job, but like I certainly don't look back on it and think like I was the problem. Interesting. Time is changing and we are moving forward. Time has changed. Guys, time is changing and we are moving forward. Time is changing and we're moving forward. time is changing, and we are moving forward. This has been episode 119 of Keeping It Real. I have been your host, Jack Kadis, and I'll see you tomorrow in Wilmington. Peace.